Okay, welcome. Here we are on how to sign up for the IPHIS. And remember, IPHIS stands for the Integrated Plant Health Information System, not to be confused with an Animal Plant Health Inspection Service, okay? And oftentimes people get those two mixed up and they refer to them in different ways. Joined with me in this video, I'm joined with Jenny Sauer and Vladimir Rasinovich. Say hi, Jenny and Vlad.
Hi, Jenny and Vlad.
Hello, everyone.
This is such a great thing, and we're going to have so much fun. All right, so here we go. Signing up for IPHIS, and it's the way we keep things secure. You have to sign up for the IPHIS. Now, the good part about it is if you are a current USDA employee or you have worked with the USDA in the past, and you have what they call an eAuthentication login, you can easily get into the IPHIS. If you do not have an eAuthentication login and you are brand new to the government or working with the federal government, you will need to apply for an eAuthentication access. There are 9 different steps for applying for the IPHIS. And those 9 steps are: obtain an eAuthentication account. 2, receive an eAuthentication credentials, whatever they are, and you'll get that in your email. Know your office within the IPHIS. In other words, where are you working from? What's the name of the office that you're working from? And somebody should be able to tell you what that office is. Know what role you're requesting. And then you're going to log into the IPHIS. Once you receive all your credentials, you're going to fill in your profile information and then request a user role. And once you're done with that, find out who in your office is a security officer and let them know that you requested a role in the IPHIS. And then once you do that, you'll receive confirmation that you have access. So those are the 9 steps in order to log into the IPHIS. Just go in the link below and you'll be able to click on that link, and it's going to take you right to that IPHIS page where you can go ahead and click on the link and get access to IPHIS. Once you get to that eAuthentication page, you're going to see the eAuthentication login. Now, if you are a USDA employee, it's easy enough for you to go ahead and click on the link pass PIV, and you'll be able to log in that way. Folks that I am talking to are the ones that have never, ever had an eAuthentication account. So when you get to the eAuthentication login, you're going to see 2 buttons there. One that says register and the other one that says login. Now, if you've never had a login, obviously you can't click on login. So click on register. So once you click on the register button, okay, it will take you to a screen and it will ask you what type of access should you have. And it's going to have all these crazy words. All right, there's a level 1, a level 2. Which one do I take? All right. Bottom line up front is this: if you are not transacting any money with the federal government, and the only thing you're doing is entering data, you only need a level 1 access. If you are transacting money with the federal government in any other program, such as e-permits, PSIT, whatever it may be, you need a level 2 access. Now we know that all you need in order to access the IPHIS is a level 1 eAuthentication account. So when you click on that button to request a level 1 eAuthentication account, it's going to ask you to fill out a bunch of information on the form. In that form, be conscious of a couple of different things. Number 1, because we're in the agricultural business, we tend to move around a lot. Now, if you're a USDA employee, you don't have a problem with this because you're a federal government employee and you probably don't ever want to lose that job because it takes an act of Congress to get rid of you. But for all the rest of you that are in the counties or in the states, you tend to move around a lot. So what I recommend in this area is for your email, because a lot of people who are not federal government employees tend to move around a lot, use your personal email for your login, for your email address. The reason for this is because if you move around and you move from one location to another location and you're still working in the agricultural community, you're going to want to use the same eAuthentication account. If you use your personal email account, you'll be able to get that information if you forgot your password or anything of that nature. And then what you'll do is you'll create a user ID. Remember what that user ID is. For example, your last name, the first initial, or you could put in your first name, dot your last name, however you want to do it, but just remember what that is. Okay, if you need to write it down so you remember what it is. And then you're going to have to create a ridiculous password, like a 15-character password with uppercase, lowercase, and special characters contained within the password. If you're a federal employee, use your federal email address. Your link pass is tied in with your federal government email address. So that's the easiest way to go for your federal government. If you're not federal government and you are a local or state cooperator, go ahead and use your personal email addresses. After you click on submit, you're going to see the registration will pop up in your email, okay? And it's going to have a link in there which says continue registration from eAuthentication. You're going to click on the continue registration button, and it's going to take you back to the eAuthentication, and then you'll be completed with that portion, okay? And that's all you have to do in order to log in, to create an eAuthentication login to access USDA systems. Once you get to that first page, every time you go in there, regardless whether you are a USDA employee or you are a cooperator, you're going to see the eAuthentication login page. Now, make sure that you update your password every time that you update your computer password. Update your eAuthentication password. Do that at the same time. It will save you tons of problems. Since this is the first time you're getting access to the IPHIS, it's going to take you to a first-time login request access, okay? So once you get in there, you're going to go ahead and fill out your first name, fill out all the information that you see in there. The email address that you use in there should be the same as what you're using for your eAuthentication. All of this information can be updated as you move around wherever you end up going, okay? So you can always update your information. At the very bottom, it's going to ask you what office do you want to put your user access. Now, pay attention, because when you click on that drop-down list in there, you're going to see a long list of varying offices in the IPHIS. Make sure you select the correct one. Once you do that, you're going to click on request a user role, and that's it. That's all you have to do. Now, this will be the same process that you will need to do if you want to request access into a different office. For example, you are working at the federal level, but you need access down into a state level or into a lower offices level, like at the county level, because you want to observe whatever compliance agreements that they may be working on or what lab specimens that they have submitted. You can have access to multiple offices, and the IPHIS uses what they call a parent-child relationship, meaning that every office may have a higher level to where they are located. And the way the IPHIS is organized is by having varying offices in a hierarchical order. So if you are at a county level, which is our lowest level, there will be a state level above you. And then above that, there's going to be the federal level. When your request goes through, your security officer will determine what role you have. Now, there are multiple roles, but there are specific roles that you can have within the system, okay? There is, and I'm going to just cover a few of them, and those are read-only, data collector, data manager, data supervisor, and security officer. Now, what read-only means is you can request access into a different office and for read-only access. In other words, you want to read the information, but you do not want to modify it. And this may come in handy if you are in the next county adjacent to the place where you want to look at the information, because you may have properties that overlap between different counties, okay? Or different areas that may overlap within each other. You may be at the state level where you need access into a different area within the state, and that is covered by a different office within the state. So you may request access in there, okay? And that gives you read-only access, where all you can do is read. Everyone must be a data collector, all right? Now, the data collector is the person who enters the data. goes in, enters the data, modifies the data, and does anything that they can with the data that they've created. Now, data collectors, unfortunately, that's all you can do. And every action that you do as a data collector must be approved by either a data manager or a data supervisor. Okay? So if you are a manager for a inspector team or for a team of inspectors, you may have a seasonal employee who you just came in and they're working and you want to check their work on a regular basis. You can make them a data collector. Okay, they can be just a data collector, but that means that the data manager and the data supervisor have got to approve every action that they do. So if they go out there and they service 60 different traps in a day, every single one of those entries must be reviewed by a data manager and a data supervisor. Imagine if you have 10 inspectors that all did 60 traps in a day. That's 600 different tasks that you have to approve that a data manager or data supervisor has got to approve. When a data manager or a data supervisor enters in the data into the IPHIS, it automatically gets accepted into the system. Just because somebody is a data manager or a data supervisor in the IPHIS does not make them an actual supervisor or manager. In the IPHIS, a data manager and a data supervisor, all they are people who ensures that information is entered properly. They can create workbooks, they can create assignments, they can QA/QC data within the IPHIS. The last most important position is a security officer. Probably one of the most coveted positions because they can add or subtract people. Okay. Now, data collectors, data managers, data supervisors can delete information, but the security officer is the only one who can approve role changes within the office. All right. Now, every office should have at a minimum two security officers. Why? Because if one is not there, the other one can take over. 3 would be better, but 2, make sure you have at least 2 security officers in there. Now, there's other multiple roles that you can request, and when you go in there to request a new role, you can see what those roles are. This is how you request a new role in the IPHIS. If you have any questions, make sure that you go to the links below, and you're going to see where to get that assistance. Thank you very much for joining me at this time. Thanks. Bye.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.